Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a truly timeless classic, the 1992 Jaguar XJ-S. Now, I know we usually look at the newest cars hitting the roads in 2025, but sometimes, to appreciate the future, we've got to take a few steps back into the past. And trust me, this one is absolutely worth it. This particular model is finished in a crisp, elegant white, and it's not just any old coupe. The Jaguar XJ-S represents an era when British engineering, luxury, and performance all met in one long, sleek body. This was Jaguar's answer to grand touring in the 90s, and while it wasn't always perfect, it had style and charm that few cars today can match. So in this video, we'll explore the beautiful exterior lines of the XJ-S, step into the leather-wrapped luxury of the interior, take a ride through its V12-powered performance, and of course, break down the current prices and what it'll cost to own a piece of British motoring history in 2025. Let's get started. Exterior. The first thing you notice when you look at the 1992 Jaguar XJ-S is its sheer presence. At over 15 feet long, this car has a commanding road stance. But it's not aggressive, it's elegant. The design is less about sharp edges and more about long curves, a design language that feels distinctly British and unmistakably Jaguar. The front end is iconic. The quad headlights, slightly tucked into the fenders, give the car a sleepy but confident expression. The long, wide hood stretches out in front of you like the deck of a yacht, and under that hood lies a serious engine, which we'll talk about later. Now, in white, the XJ-S takes on an especially clean and classic look. The paint on this model has been beautifully maintained, and with chrome accents surrounding the grille, window trim, and door handles, it still has that old-school luxury vibe. The bumpers are body-colored, which was more modern for the early 90s, and the slim tail lights at the back are understated but perfectly proportional. This coupe version also features elegant 15-inch lattice-style alloy wheels, which may look small by today's standards, but they suit the XJ-S perfectly. The wire-spoke look adds a touch of vintage flair, and wrapped in proper touring tires, they complete the look of a true grand tourer. One of the best exterior details is the long, sloping rear window and the trunk lid that flows downward like the tail of a jet. It's aerodynamic, stylish, and practical. The rear cargo area is surprisingly large for a luxury coupe of its time. There's a sense of sophistication in every line of this car. It doesn't shout, it whispers, with class. Interior. Open the long doors and you're greeted with a cabin that smells like British leather and old-world craftsmanship. This interior is a time capsule. Plush seats wrapped in Connolly leather, real wood veneer across the dashboard and center console, and analog gauges that still look charmingly elegant. This is not a place filled with giant touchscreens or ambient lighting. This is old-school luxury, and it's incredibly refreshing. In this 1992 model, the leather is a light beige, which contrasts beautifully with the white exterior. The seats are wide and cushy, with just enough bolstering to keep you comfortable on long drives but not intended for aggressive cornering. The power adjustments work well, even after 3 decades, and you'll find yourself sinking into these seats like your favorite armchair. The dashboard layout is classically Jaguar. There's a mix of toggle switches, rotary knobs, and chrome-rimmed gauges that give it a cockpit feel. The instrument cluster is straightforward: speedometer, tachometer, fuel gauge, oil pressure, voltage, and temperature, all analog, all clearly visible. The wood trim, likely burled walnut, runs from door to door and gives the cabin that extra sense of craftsmanship. One interesting detail is the transmission selector, which has a gated shifter and a satisfyingly mechanical feel when moving through the gears. The center console also houses a cassette player and digital clock. Yes, it's 1992 through and through. Rear seats exist, but let's be honest, they're mostly for show. Kids or bags might fit, but adults won't enjoy the back row. Still, the fact that it has them at all adds to the grand touring spirit of this car. In terms of storage, the trunk is surprisingly deep and wide. Jaguar made sure this coupe could carry luggage for weekend getaways, exactly what a GT car should do. Overall, the interior of the 1992 XJ-S is like stepping into a British gentleman's club on wheels. Luxurious, a bit dated by today's standards, but undeniably charming. Performance. Now, let's talk about the heart of this white cat, performance. And this is where things get really interesting. Under the hood, this model packs Jaguar's legendary 5.3-liter V12 engine. Yes, a V12 in a Jaguar, not something you see every day, even in the 90s. This engine makes about 265 horsepower and 290 lb-ft of torque. That might not sound earth-shattering by 2025 standards, but remember, this is a Grand Tourer, not a sports car. The power delivery is smooth, effortless, and almost silent. This car isn't about launching off the line, it's about gliding across the highway with the kind of refinement that only a V12 can offer. The engine just purrs under the hood, with a low, bassy rumble that never feels aggressive but always feels strong. Mated to a 3-speed automatic transmission, the XJ-S was built for cruising. Shifts are soft and relaxed, almost imperceptible unless you really step on the throttle. It's a powertrain that encourages you to take your time, enjoy the road, and arrive in style. The ride quality is equally smooth. The suspension is tuned for comfort, absorbing bumps and road imperfections with grace. It's not a corner carver, but it handles with composure. The long wheelbase and relatively soft setup give it that classic floaty ride, perfect for long-distance travel. Braking is handled by 4-wheel disc brakes, and steering, while a bit light by modern standards, is accurate enough for its size. It's a heavy car, but it doesn't feel unwieldy. You can cruise effortlessly at 70 or 80 miles per hour all day long, and that's exactly what it was made for. Of course, being a V12 from the early 90s, don't expect Prius-level fuel economy. You're looking at somewhere around 11 to 14 miles per gallon, depending on how and where you drive. But let's be honest, if you're buying a classic Jaguar, it's not because you're pinching pennies at the pump. Pricing. So what does it cost to own a 1992 Jaguar XJ-S in 2025? Well, the good news is, these cars are still relatively affordable classics, especially when compared to other V12-powered cars of the era. As of this year, a well-maintained example in good condition, like the white one we're looking at, will typically run you anywhere between $12,000 and $20,000. That's for a car with service history, clean title, and decent mileage. If you find one that's been meticulously restored or preserved, you might see prices climb up to $25,000 or more, especially for rarer trims or factory original V12 versions in top-tier condition. However, it's important to factor in maintenance and ownership costs. Jaguar's V12s are known for being mechanically complex. They're smooth, yes, but they require attention. Parts availability is decent thanks to the collector community, but labor costs can be high if you're not doing the work yourself. Insurance is generally reasonable for a classic vehicle, especially if you go through specialty insurers who understand collector cars. And many states offer classic plates that reduce annual fees and emissions requirements. So while the entry price is surprisingly approachable, this isn't a car you buy to save money. It's a car you buy because you appreciate what it is, a refined, elegant tourer from a different era. And for around $15,000, there are few cars that give you this level of presence, performance, and history. So, is the 1992 Jaguar XJ-S still worth it in 2025? If you're looking for a daily driver with modern tech, safety features, and fuel efficiency, probably not. But if you want a stylish, unique, and soulful machine that represents everything great about old-school British luxury, then absolutely. In white, this car looks like it rolled right out of a Bond film, suave, composed, and quietly powerful. The V12 gives it that special charisma, and the interior, while dated, oozes character and charm you just don't find anymore. It's a car for people who enjoy the journey more than the destination. And in a world full of screens and algorithms, maybe that's exactly what we need sometimes: a long drive, a great road, and the sound of a V12 humming beneath the hood. Thanks for watching this long-form review of the 1992 Jaguar XJ-S. If you enjoyed this classic car content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite underrated Grand Tourer of the past? Until next time, stay classy, drive safe, and I'll see you in the next video.